Welcome, our fellow lovers of love, and thank you for joining us on yet another excursion through the stream of consciousness, down the river of tranquility, to fill the lake of life with love.
Good evening, all you lovers out there, and good morning, Lubby. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. This is my morning. I have slept 7 hours. I'm ready for the day. It's now 9 o'clock in the evening. Huzzah.
Well, it's 9:30. Someone overslept. The traffic was heavy from past the bathroom, I guess. Yeah.
And the sad thing is I set the timer.
You set a timer?
Yeah, I just hit the snooze button for an hour.
Woman.
And I don't remember.
You hit the snooze button for an hour and you don't remember.
No, it was terrible.
Well, it's because you're not supposed to hit the snooze button. You set your alarm for a reason.
I know, but I don't.
Anyway. All right. Why are you so far back today?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So we are here to talk about Thanksgiving tonight. But before we do that, you can all hit like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you want to send us, oops, not the one I wanted. There we go. If you want to send us a note or have a question you want answered on the show, especially the second half, you can send it to love@latenightLove.us. And there's a hair on my microphone. Kitty. So there is that. So all right, so we've got Thanksgiving, so what is it? What have I got written here? Are you ready for some turkey talk? In this episode of Late Night Love, we explore the history, traditions, and trivia of Thanksgiving, the most American of holidays. I would actually think 4th of July. Anyway, that's a whole nother issue. We'll share some fun facts about the origins of the feast, evolutions of the menu, and the surprising ways people celebrate across the country. Whether you're hosting a big gathering, joining a virtual celebration, or spending some quality time with yourself. That's a good question. Maybe you're by yourself this Thanksgiving. We'll give you some ideas on how to make this Thanksgiving more memorable and meaningful. All right, Lubby. So what do we got? What are we starting with tonight?
Well, we're going to start with some Thanksgiving facts.
All righty. Okay.
And this is kind of random,
Okay.
All right. The day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year for plumbers.
That's surprising and not. I suppose a lot of grease down the drains.
Even if they recommend not pouring hot cooking oil down your drain.
No, and you have to, if you are gonna do that, you make sure you run a lot of hot water after it, so it actually gets all the way flush. But yeah, don't do that. Is the bigger thing?
Yeah.
I mean, so okay. 740 million pounds of turkey. That's a lot.
Every Thanksgiving.
That's a lot of turkey.
That's a lot of turkey. 44 million turkeys.
All right. Butterball answers 100,000 turkey-related questions every year. That's a lot of questions. Calvin Coolidge, here's a good one, was given a live raccoon one Thanksgiving. I'm not sure a live raccoon is a good Thanksgiving present. Did he like them?
I don't know.
I guess raccoon was a food back then. So it's, tastes have changed, since the time. We now have processed meats and food, so we don't actually have to kill them and skin them and process them ourselves. But back then, raccoon may have been a delicacy from somebody's era, and it was a great honor to receive that, would be my guess.
They didn't eat them,
though. No. It's one of those things like when what do they do? They pardon the turkeys now, right? Every year. It's the same thing. You're not going to eat them. Okay. Cranberry sauce is the most hated Thanksgiving dish.
I don't know why. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah, but it's not the people who like it, and the people who don't really don't. is the thing there, right? It's fine. people are allowed to like different types of foods. I think it's very acceptable to say, no, I'll pass on that. I'll take more of that.
Some people don't think it's Thanksgiving without mac and cheese, and personally, I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. If you don't like turkey, we were talking about this actually at work. Is somebody doesn't like turkey, and I said, I know somebody they have brisket on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not about exactly what you eat. That's not the point. If you're too focused on exactly what the food is, then you're missing the point of Thanksgiving. The point is you're getting together as family and sharing a meal and all, and preparing for the winter and all that good fun stuff. It's not about the exact food you're eating. If you're having hamburgers and French fries, as long as you're doing it with friends and family, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing okay. Female turkeys don't gobble.
That's a fascinating fact. I just learned that. I didn't know that.
Frozen had the biggest Thanksgiving opening
Of any movie.
Well, how many movies open on Thanksgiving? It's kind of a limited, but yeah, something like it.
By the way, 93 million.
Jingle Bells was originally a Thanksgiving song. One Horse Open Sleigh was a ditty meant to be sung on Thanksgiving. It was changed to Jingle Bells and prescribed for Christmas. Okay, interesting. FDR went Smooth Thanksgiving up a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, went well. Not. You can't change it at this point. So, the first Thanksgiving celebration was a 3-day thing. Well, okay, what they're calling the first Thanksgiving, at least kind of the first traditional American Thanksgiving that we kind of think of, because Thanksgiving in some form has been, shared across the world for thousands of years. It's the just before winter where you gather to share and exchange resources, get rid of anything that's not going to keep through the winter, kind of use those last of those spring stores, get all the. That's why you get all that weird combinations of food, because you got to use the last of it before it spoils and make room for the new stuff. So anyway, there's actually logical reasons to have a feast just before winter.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what we do. That's kind of what Thanksgiving is. There's a reason that's the time of year. Okay. Woman who got Thanksgiving reinstated as a national holiday also wrote Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's actually just interesting. The George H.W. Bush's presidential pardon of a turkey was a joke. Actually, it's a tradition that we talked about it, goes back to the 1870s. But it was Harry Truman who became the first to receive one from the Poultry and Egg National Board and the National Turkey Federation in 1947. It was intended as a peace offering. But in 1989, to follow this tradition, the first official turkey pardon was granted by George W. Bush, with an animal rights activist standing nearby. So and that's how we've got. So actually, the actual pardon is relatively new in the turkey thing.
Apparently so. Yeah, I didn't know that.
We always thought that the pardon part's been going on since 1947 or the 1870s, because they never actually get eaten. But it's interesting that the actual official pardon, but they get sent to, and these turkeys don't get eaten. They actually do go to live out the rest of their long, happy lives in like a rescue type place thing. It means one of these other. We lost our microphone there for a second. Okay, so we're gonna leave it alone. So
All right.
it's gonna pick up. Our sound is just gonna be off. So it is what it is. Okay. Red wine is the most popular Thanksgiving
Tipple
tipple drink.
is drink.
Wine.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you're gonna drink wine, it's red wine goes with turkey, but poultry, right?
50% go with red wine and 10% go with white. Well, you're supposed to serve white with poultry.
I thought it was red with poultry, but what the hell do I know? I don't drink. I never did. So
No, it's red with beef.
okay, the turkey isn't to blame for your post-dinner slump. No, it's because you ate like a horse. That's what you did. That's the problem. Yeah, any big meal is going to make you. All right, how many of these do we want to do?
One Connecticut town delayed Thanksgiving because of a pumpkin pie shortage. What? They don't know how to bake.
I don't know. I don't know.
Holiday gain accounts for most of the thickening associated with aging. Huh.
Yeah, well, because when you're getting old, it's harder to take it back off. It's as you know, I used to be able to take weight off by stopping eating potato chips, and that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, you can go with walks on me in the morning.
Yeah, no, thank you. The first national Thanksgiving was declared by George Washington. So there, it's been around since the beginning. Turkeys are named after the country, the result of confusion about birds. I'll go back to the Ottoman Empire. Guinea fowl, birds that closely resemble turkeys, were often imported from their native North Africa to Europe to be eaten. Because Europeans received them from the Turkish traders, they refer to them as turkeys or turkey hens, turkey hen cocks. And when the settlers from the Americans began sending what we call turkeys back to their European counterparts, the latter, confused by the resemblance, began referring to them by the name turkeys. So we have turkeys. Because Europeans don't know the difference between, hens from turkeys and turkeys from the United States.
Well, they have their feathers all black and everything.
I don't know. All right. There's a lot of turkeys. Yeah, this beam's all weird. The first Thanksgiving football game predates the National Football League. So there. Yeah, of course it does. All right. So that's about enough of those. The rest of these are just getting kind of sillier, kind of things we know. All right. So what's next?
10 fascinating facts about turkey.
I'm not sure I want to know about fascinating facts about turkeys that we don't already know. Like number one, it's like I could have gone my whole life without knowing this and not felt any less informed. Their poop
can tell you a lot. There's a difference between female and male turkey poop. Female turkeys look like a spiral, and male turkeys it looks like the letter J.
Well, yeah, but I don't need to know that. Turkeys aren't like we just talked about. Turkeys are named after the country turkey, kind of. Turkeys are actually quite fast. 25 miles an hour. In California, school zones are 20. So a turkey can violate speed limits.
Benjamin Franklin was a big fan of turkeys.
Female turkeys lay 11 eggs on average during their nesting season. Yeah, but if their nesting season is only once a year, that's not very great. That's why we have chickens. Turkeys can live almost anywhere in the United States. Yeah, those things actually kind of wander around. You find turkeys around here sometimes.
Turkeys have better vision than you.
Saying a lot. Humans have relatively crappy vision. Some presidents have pardoned turkeys officially. As we have always learned, some, not so officially.
Apparently, there was a rumor that Abraham Lincoln was the first to pardon a turkey after his son begged him to do so.
Yeah, but was it an official pardon, or was it just, I'm not going to eat you, go live a life somewhere? That's the Okay, don't mess with turkeys because turkeys are actually kind of brutal. There's that. We eat a lot of turkeys, as we already said. So that one was fast because we already covered parts of it.
Yes.
All right. So what do you do? Thanksgiving, you've got all kinds of family activities, or maybe you're by yourself. What do you do to make Thanksgiving, tolerable? Maybe you're one of those people who's kind of a grumpus when it comes to Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
So what do you do with that? We can play Thanksgiving games, right?
Yes.
Get started with this.
Thanksgiving bingo, Turkey Day Pictionary.
Yeah, Pictionary. That's always a good one. I Spy for little kids, crafts for kids so they can keep them occupied is not necessarily a bad idea. And the links to these are at the website, lightninglove.us. Okay.
You can host a cookie swap.
Cookie swap. Celebrate special occasions. Maybe everybody gets together, and celebrate birthdays at the same time, anniversaries, that kind of thing. Our family does that. Multiple use holidays.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard to get together. And so if you can do it once a month, you do it once a month. And sometimes that's on Thanksgiving. Okay. Play an icebreaker game. Enjoy good food, football, conversation. This year's gathering includes new guests. Help them feel right at home by playing icebreaker games. Questions to get to. Oh, that's just awkward. Don't do that. Don't go around the table asking odd questions of guests that haven't been there. God, yeah. Hey, you're new here. Let's give you 20 questions. No, just be nice to people. That'll do it. Keep it to small talk until you've broken past it. Just don't do it with 20 questions. And don't talk politics on Thanksgiving. There's my advice. Okay, tell turkey jokes. Yeah, especially like puns. Thanksgiving's a great day for puns.
Yes.
Yeah, so, there's nothing wrong with a good pun. Some people, there's never a good pun. That's actually when a pun's good. All right. Scavenger hunt, especially if you got kids, young ones, keep them again. Another thing to keep occupied. Oh, for the love of God, do not sing karaoke. Who the hell wrote this down? Do not sing karaoke at Thanksgiving. Do not do it. I mean, unless you're a family of musicians, right? No, we can't sing happy birthday. You want to sing in karaoke? No singing karaoke on Thanksgiving. Well, unless you're a musical family. Make matching t-shirts. No, don't go matchies on Thanksgiving. That'll send your guests home. Oh, they make matching t-shirts as I survived Thanksgiving 2023. There you go. That's actually kind of funny. All right. Serve warm drinks.
Hot chocolate, apple cider, pumpkin spice latte.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to drink hot chocolate this year. Ugly sweater contest. Oh, I'm gonna have to go pull my ugly sweater out. We're having an ugly sweater contest.
I have no idea where it is. Unless you want to bring down all the Christmas stuff for me. Help.
My foot's actually feeling pretty good. Anthony's not here. All right. Host a Petsgiving. If you got pets and stuff, maybe I don't know. Doesn't actually sound like the world's greatest idea to me. But unless your pet has a friend circle, I know some of them do. You got a friend circle, you can have a pet Thanksgiving.
Some do, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I think that's kind of a really niche thing, but all right. Contribute to a cause. Just here's one. Giving Tuesdays are coming up, so look for a local charity that's participating in Giving Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and you can help out.
Make a family tree. Now that's pretty cool.
I suppose it's interesting. I've never been interested with that in the family tree thing myself. But some families are into that, and if your family's into that, it's a good thing to do. I kind of agree in terms of activities for a, gratitude jar. That's right. So, ooh, that's actually a good one. Instead of having everyone go around the table and say it, have them write it down on a piece of paper, collect them in the jar, and then read them aloud. Ooh, that's actually a good one. We should do that. That's a good one. It's good actually kind of to come someplace and read them. Maybe that's something we'll do. All right, something to think about. Play board or card games.
Yeah, have a game night. Yeah.
Okay, do not, for the love of God, play Monopoly on Thanksgiving.
D&D.
Yeah, anything other than, because Monopoly is the world's worst
You
game.
don't want to play with me because I always win.
Well, Monopoly is the worst game in the world. It's just this is the most boring game in the
What are
planet.
you talking about?
And two, you are the world's worst winner, and that has nothing to do with. I'm perfectly fine losing.
You just don't not like the dance.
No, someone is the world's worst winner, but no, this has nothing to do with that. Even
It's a song, isn't it?
This is just the fact that Monopoly is a crappy game to play on Thanksgiving. Don't play Monopoly on Thanksgiving. Play anything else. Just play who can be quiet the longest before you play Monopoly. I don't care what you play. Don't play Monopoly. Battleship, okay. Scrabble, fine. Uno, sure, why not? Do not play. You got video games. Go play video games. Go play some Mario Kart. But do not play Monopoly. It's just it's like don't play Risk either. It's just not the game for that kind of environment. Okay. It takes too long. You just pick one and have with some friends. But have ones that are relatively short so you can kind of cycle through it, right? Don't play something that's going to take hours to play, which is why you don't play Monopoly.
Put a puzzle together? Oh, Lord.
Well, all right. If you've got a small puzzle and you've got a place to put it, it's something to kind of put over in your corner and see people can work on. You get it.
Oh, well, okay.
You get it 10% done or something when people are there, so they can just kind of play around with it. I can see that. I don't make it a center of activity, but have it as kind of an option thing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see that. Signature cocktail. Okay, if your family's into drinking, I suppose. Host an open house. That's actually not necessarily a bad one. Just say, hey, come by whenever you want. We're here all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serve appetizers.
Yeah, maybe even have your dinner. People come in, maybe have a buffet style dinner. All day buffet. Depending upon how large your family and friend circle is. Care packages for Thanksgiving. Or even if it's not care packages, maybe spend some time volunteering on Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving weekend. Not on Thanksgiving itself. Just find something to do other than focuses on something other than yourself. Take a walk off some of that dinner. I suppose it's one way to do it.
Crafts.
Well, if you're crafty, again, know your audience. Baked goods. If you got, go
Deliver baked goods to friends and neighbors.
Yeah. Did they already say ugly sweater contest?
Yeah.
Yeah. A holiday playlist? No, don't do holiday playlists on it because starting the holidays is too.
I believe in separating the holidays.
I can understand where they're going, but it's know your audience. If your whole family loves Christmas, then okay, it's fine. But if you've got a third of your family who really hates the fact that people are celebrating putting Christmas decorations up on there, don't rub it in. Just have Thanksgiving and put up your Christmas stuff tomorrow. Or wait till they leave and then do it. Save it for the end of the night. When Thanksgiving's kind of over, we get to go into Christmas now. Okay, and everybody knows. It's fine. But I also don't believe that people who want to put their Christmas stuff up and already are like sometimes they get treated like they're committing some kind of mortal sin. Oh my God, you put your Christmas decorations up before Thanksgiving? Yeah, why not? I don't, but if you want to, sure, go ahead. Leave them up all year for all I care.
There's a lot of people who who turn on their Christmas lights for the first time Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, it's, leave people alone. Let people celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas how they want. Stop being so judgmental. If you don't want to do it at all, or if you want to start it early, which you consider early, it's no business of yours. If you don't like it, don't look. Okay. So do something in remembrance of loved ones, of those who have passed. Depending upon how distant you are from the event, that can Thanksgiving trivia. I suppose depending upon your family, if you're a trivia type family, go for it. Run a race. Okay, I guess if you're athletic, I get it. Decorate Thanksgiving, draw names.
For holiday gifts.
Oh, so if you're going to have like a secret Santa or, say, hey, we got a huge family, so we can't buy presents for everybody. So everybody tip in the hat, grab one name, and then it's the person you're getting a present for this year. I can get that, right? To keep costs down, especially in these kind of years. That's actually not a habit to help keep costs down.
Yeah.
Play a game of football or not, depending upon how old or young you are. Some of us old people, it wouldn't be a great idea.
We can watch.
I don't know if we have enough young people. Take photos or basketball or whatever it is. So again, it's just spend some time. A lot of this is just spending some time at a movie marathon, or hey, my show will be on. Oh crap, I've got to edit my show. My show, I have a show that airs on Thanksgiving night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, airs every night at every Thursday at 8:00. My show airs, so we've got to put it in. They made it air on production. Camera error. They left the camera on the wrong person. Well, I was giving this long, thankful thing.
Oops.
In the opening. Yeah, and guess who was controlling the camera switching?
Who?
My son, Anthony. He said, I thought I hit the button. I must have been watching the wrong screen. Yeah, it happens. It's not the worst thing that's happened on. So we're going to figure out how to edit that around. I'm not sure what we're doing with it yet, but we'll figure something out. Make an ornament for the Christmas tree. Start new traditions. I don't start new traditions. That's my thing. It's new traditions evolve. You don't start. Right? You just happen to do something because you like to do it, and if it sticks around, it becomes a tradition. And remember, not all traditions exist for reasons that you think. The classic story is there used to be this person who cooked a roast, and they would cut the ends off, and then put them in, and because that's the way Mom did it. Cut the ends off, prepare it, and put it in. So they always cut the ends off. 3 generations. That's how they cooked this thing. And finally, someone asked her, "Well, why'd you do that?" Because that's how it fit in the pan. So for 3 generations, everybody was cooking the pot this way, not because they had to, not because there was some special recipe or some secret. No, it's because that's the size of pan she had, and so that's the pan. And so she, in order for the thing to fit in the pan, she had to cut it. Again, the point is, to know what you're doing is to know why you're doing traditions. Some traditions exist because there's a secret recipe or a secret way to do things, or there's special way some love is added, and sometimes it's just because that's the size pan they had. And so don't be afraid to break traditions, but I just say don't deliberately create them. I'm just saying they will create themselves, I suppose, is my point. Okay, preserve kids' handprints. Sure. Eat out on Thanksgiving? No.
Hey, a lot of people that I know, well, I can't say a lot, but I know a couple of people who go for Chinese on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but then people have to work on Thanksgiving. But I suppose if you're, maybe you don't celebrate, the people who don't celebrate Thanksgiving need something to do, I guess. It's always very kind of odd, right? It's like, don't go out on Thanksgiving so people can go home with their families. But what about the people who want to work on Thanksgiving because they got nothing else to do? Now you've taken that opportunity away from them. So again, eat out for Thanksgiving. I guess it's fine. So, especially if you can't cook, if if you're a mediocre cook and you want a half decent meal, maybe there's a place to go. The Lego Towers, the Lincoln Logs, bingos. All right. So I think we've kind of run this thing. Anything else on this list we want?
Not that I can really think of.
Film a Thanksgiving video or record some stories, family stories, for posterity is not bad. And new recipes. Don't tweak old ones. Add a new one.
People depend on those old recipes.
Yeah, you can retire an old one if you found something that people are willing to replace it with, but don't replace it first. Add something, and then you can replace it later. You can pull the other one out if people prefer the new one, but don't just replace it. I mean, just don't swap it out. Add to, don't replace. That's my suggestion. And then again, if you can retire something at some point, you're serving two kind of potatoes, and everybody likes one, you can retire the other one, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Unpack holiday decorations, especially if you're elderly and you've got all the grandkids or whatnot there. Send them up to the attic to bring all those boxes down. Get them younger kids, those 12, 13-year-olds or whatnot, to check the lights and make sure all the lights are working. That kind of thing. Go to the movies if you like movies.
Map out Black Friday shopping. Oh, forget it.
Yeah, if you do that kind of thing, right? Sit down with the ads and the things and prepare where you're going to go.
I used to.
Well, it's kind of fun.
I have in the past.
Yeah, I think it's kind of gone over. It's one of those things. It's a cycle, right? It'll go away for a couple of years, then it'll come back with a vengeance, and then it'll go away for a few years, and then it'll come back for a few years. And these few years are 5-6 year cycles. So right now we're in a cycle where the stores are starting to not be open. But what will happen is those few stores that do stay open will rake in tremendous profit. And so over the course of a couple of years, more and more stores will open. And then, of course, the profits are spread too thin. So some stores will start to close. And that's just how the cycle works. It just does. It's not a comment on good, bad, or indifferent. It's just how it works. So, and talking about working, we're going to go ahead and move on to the rest of the things. But you can always like, subscribe, share, and whatnot, comment, do all that good stuff. We like that. And we've got relationship questions.
We're going to start out with a good one.
Okay.
For you.
All right.
Why does my boyfriend get mad when I start crying?
Okay.
He's 25. She's 22.
Okay. One, is it anger or is it frustration? Those are actually two different things. But they can seem to manifest the same way. But it's because he doesn't actually understand what's happening. Right? He doesn't understand. For him, it's an overreaction. He doesn't know how to fix it. He doesn't know how to deal with it. And just like anybody else, he hasn't learned to deal with his emotions yet. So, in a sense, it's emotional immaturity. Which I suspect is the same reason you started crying in the first place, because it's just a cluster of emotional immaturity at that point.
Yeah.
Which is understandable at your mid-20s. Essentially, you guys are both the same maturity level, and you're both trying to figure out how to deal with these things. And it's not pretty as you learn. When you're learning things, you fail a lot. That's called a failure. But as long as you learn from it, as long as you guys can figure out how to move forward. Maybe you've got to learn how to explain yourself better. Why you're crying, what your action. Maybe your communication skill needs to improve, and maybe his listening skills need to improve, or maybe he needs to learn how
to depersonalize while he's listening to you, so he doesn't take it whatever it is. He's taking it personal, and it's not really personal, right? These kind of things.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to do that anyway, and to learn to do that at 25 is what we all do, which is why relationships in your 20s are so difficult. So my luck to both of you, but it's my suspicion it's frustration, not anger, and it just looks the same. And if you can get him to understand that. But here's the thing: talk about it when things are going well, not when you guys are upset. Because everything's going to be kind of covered in emotion when you talk about it while you're still upset. So my suggestion is to talk about it at a time where, things been okay. There's no stress. I say, "Hi, I've got a question. How come it seems like you're angry when I cry? I'm just curious. I'm trying to understand the reaction so I can communicate better." Or maybe actually leave him the out. Leave him to, is it anger or is it frustration? I'm trying to understand. Give him an avenue other than anger to express himself. And if it's anger, he'll likely tell you if it's okay, because then you're working through it like adults. But yeah, don't try to do it when you guys are all both emotional, highly emotional. Do it when you're not emotional. And you'll just know the time, and don't do it at 3 a.m, for the love of God.
Yeah.
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 No, just don't do it at, like right before bed. People are trying to switch their brains off, and then you're going to go ask them deep questions about your relationship. That's not the time to do it. It's just the wrong timing, right? You're trying to switch off your brain to go to sleep, not turn it on to think about these things. So it's something to ask about over brunch or during a drive or something, when things are going okay. Sitting down there having lunch while you're on a drive somewhere. Something that's in a non-threatening situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fiance, 28 male, found my 26 female explicit AI chats and called our wedding off. How do I go on?
What the hell's wrong with you? That's my answer. She's chatting with an AI bot. So she's not actually fooling around or anything. She's chatting with an AI bot. It's like, in a sense, it's like you watching porn or looking at, pictures of scantily clad women. Maybe you're someone who doesn't, which I suppose is great, but, don't expect everybody else to be, have that level of control over their humanity, shall we say. So you're acting like she's cheated on you, and she hasn't. Now, if she is not expressing interest in you while spending all her time on her AI chats, that's a different thing. But just like that's like a porn addiction, that's a different issue. And you actually love someone through that. You don't dismiss them through that. Quite frankly, at this point, I think you've caused a bigger harm than her. You've called off the wedding without actually trying to figure out what the heck the point was, what everything that was really going on. Not trying to kind of work through it. That's not marriage material.
Maybe she dodged a bullet.
Maybe she did. But, and again, maybe he's one of these people who's socially awkward. He hasn't had a lot of time. He doesn't have a lot of sexual experience. And so this feels personal to him. Maybe because it is.
Well, is that like women? I know myself, I was just completely devastated when I found out that my first husband, looked at porn.
Well, yeah, because and at that age, of course, it feels personal because your experiences are small. Your lower life experiences is relatively narrow. Your view on human existence, not just human sexuality, but the wide variance of human needs, and it feels very personal, right? Especially when you're young, it feels very personal As you get older, it feels less personal. It's just, no, that's just about them. It's not really about me. And, you know, it is what it is. So that's all. It feels like rejection when it's not, is what it is. It feels like if they're not talking with me about this, or they're not dealing with this with me, when it's not rejection. It's just, they're just expressing themselves in a different way. And it's fine. And if it's not fine, then you've done the right thing. If it's something, if you need someone who's more, I don't want to say prudish, but I'm going to say prudish than she is, then okay, fine. That's your line. Great. But have you actually explored if that's your line, or are you just reacting because you feel hurt? Which is my guess. My guess is it's not a real line. He just feels hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my guess is she's never going to want him back because he overreacted to something without dealing with it. You know, unless she was hiding it, and then it becomes the relationship wasn't solid enough for a marriage anyway. And so it is what it is. But just go on. There's no how do you go on. You just go on. If you're going to move on, you just move on. But I think you're the one who overreacted. Now, maybe working through it, you come to the decision you both should have called the wedding off. But that's one of those things you should have worked through before you just call the wedding off. You overreacted too fast.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Boyfriend, 37 male, says that I, 30 female, smell. I don't know what to think.
Well, you ever thought that maybe there's something? You know, all kinds of people go through physical changes, and you know, you could have a body odor issue. It doesn't have anything to do with male, female, age. It can creep up, especially if your body chemistry gets mixed up. Or he could be trying to push you away, and he's too immature to actually just say, you know, this relationship isn't working. I think we should go our separate ways. And he's just trying to get you to do it. Or he's just a jerk. So there's 3 options for you. I mean, it could be a legitimate, you know, issue where you've got a chemical imbalance or something. And
It could be.
I mean,
Yeah.
it happens. It actually happens far more frequent than many people know. Or maybe you don't wash your clothes enough or well enough. Maybe you overstuff the washing machine, so your clothes come out still kind of smelling, and it's not actually you that smells, it's your clothes. There's all kinds of answers, theoretical answers to this solution, and maybe he's inartful on how he says it or deals with it. But at 27, 30, my guess is, I don't know. Check your doctor, check with somebody else. Ask someone you trust. Hey, yeah, people, if someone will trust, will tell you the truth. Because maybe he's the only one who's willing to tell you the truth, that you've got some kind of issue going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's also possible, which in that case, it's his role in life. Yeah. Or he could be a jerk. I don't know. So I don't want to throw up someone who's being a jerk a bone, but you know, there's the possibility that something has happened, your body chemistry has changed, and you know, maybe it ends up saving your life because you go see a doctor and you find cancer or something. That kind of thing happens. Maybe he's sensitive to a certain smell. Their dogs can sometimes smell cancer. So they're not actually smelling cancer, they're smelling a chemical change in you. So it's possible. Or he's a jerk. Okay, so that wasn't a fun one. Okay, what's next?
I caught my girlfriend in a lie. What should I do? He's 25 and so is she.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what was the lie?
Does it matter?
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't remember.
Well, because, I mean, did she lie that she was home watching a movie by herself, washing her hair or whatever, when she really went to her sister's house and they went out and had drinks and to celebrate her sister's promotion or something, and she just didn't want to deal with the BS that you give her when she wants to do that? Well, that's actually your fault. in my opinion. Now, should she do it? Probably not. But you've created the condition where she felt she had to. You know, or is she lying about credit card debt? You know, it kind of depends on what the lie is, on what you should or shouldn't do. Yeah, because some lies, maybe it's some introspection. Maybe I'm kind of a jerk if she's feeling she's having to lie about going spending time with her sister or her best friend. Maybe that's on me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lying about $10,000 she just racked up in credit card debt because she was feeling bad about herself and did shopping therapy. Okay, maybe that's a red flag to be dealt with. I'm just saying those are two different things, right? And so depending upon the lie is kind of the answer. So you would just need more information. Nothing's universal. You shouldn't lie to them, but sometimes, people put you in a situation where they feel like they have to, and you can, alleviate that. But of course, if your relationship at that point, maybe then again, there's, that's all I'm saying. There's different things. There's white lies that people do because they're stupid, young. Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're, the little white lies because they're stupid and young and don't have to deal with, uncomfortable conversation.
Right.
And there's lies people make because your boyfriend or girlfriend's, difficult to deal with. So you say a white lie because you just don't want to deal with it. And then there's lies because you're fundamentally hiding something is fundamentally wrong. And so, that's a whole different, those are all different things. Okay. So what's next?
We got parenting questions.
Okay.
People asking to bring siblings to my child's birthday party. Can I ask them to bring snacks? Because it's an 8-year-old, 10-year-old pizza party, and these little kids are 2 years old, and she does not have finger food.
Okay, this one's where I'm kind of torn because 8 to 10-year-olds should be able to go to a birthday party and without their siblings and quite frankly their parents hovering around them, depending upon circumstances. But 8 and 10 may not be old enough for some to be left alone for a little while. And then some parents don't have the resources to have someone else watch their younger kids, so they kind of have to be brought along or not go. But the question is, most parents know to bring snacks and stuff to keep their 2-year-old occupied. That's kind of my point, is what I'm thinking. And so it's something you probably don't actually have to ask them to do. And it's a pizza party. 2-year-olds can eat pizza. Cut it off, give them the crust, and we'll chew on it for
Half an hour.
Yeah. So just my suggestion, you could bring it up. Try not to make a big deal out of it because you can get snacks for small people. Just rip the crust off and give them the snacks. This thing is playing havoc with my computer at the moment. All right. Okay, so what's next?
My son suddenly decided to throw away his stuffed toys. How to respond? He's 15.
So he decided to throw away his stuffed toys. Maybe the proper response would be to give them to charity, or maybe you want to take them if you're, you are the one who's emotionally attached to them, not him. Put them up in the attic, store them away as a keepsake. Mothers sometimes do that, but don't try to what do you think? You trying to make him keep them? He's moved on. It's okay. It's part of life. It's throwing him away an overreaction, maybe, but teenagers will tend to that. So if you think it's an overreaction, maybe pick out his favorite couple and keep those in the attic. More for you than for him, and he'll appreciate it when he's 50.
Yeah.
Something to give to his grandkids, kind of thing. But all right.
Okay, unsure how to handle 16-year-old repetitively sneaking out.
Oh, this one you can't. Because no matter what you do, you're just going to actually reinforce his desire to sneak out. the only way to handle a teenager who's sneaking out is to make the home a better place to be than out. I'm assuming it's a boy,
Yeah.
even though girls sneak out all the time too. We just pretend they don't. Why do you think 16-year-old boys sneak out? Hello. Where do you think they're going?
Look for girls.
Of course. So the thing is to make your home the place you'd rather be. You know, and it's hard to do. It's hard to deal with as a parent of teenagers because there's no single way to do it. I can't sit here and say, well, if you do X, Y, and Z, it'll all be great, because it's not how it works. So try to figure out what's actually pushing him to not be in the house. Maybe he's going to see a girl. Maybe he's going to smoke pot with his friends. Maybe he's going out to have, someone's got a fake ID and so they can, go drinking. There's all kinds of potential reasons, things that he can be going to do. But the question is, find out why those are better than being home. Maybe he's miserable at school, and so he's going out to blow off steam. There's something happening. Yeah. So if you think of sneaking out as the symptom rather than the problem, you'll actually be able to better handle that. So think of that as a symptom, not the problem, and then go from there. And good luck. Stop it. Okay.
What do you consider be the most important value you are teaching your children? This is an ongoing thing. Parenting doesn't stop. Yeah, the needs of a child changes, and they're at different stages in their life, and they're learning different things, and so it morphs.
Well, I think the most important value is to be a good human being, right? And
Well,
whatever
isn't
that
that
means.
okay? Sorry.
Well, no, in a sense, there's no right or wrong answer here, right? It's the most important value to you, and so the most important value I'm trying to teach my kids is to be a good human being, right? Because things will follow after that. If you teach them to be a good human being, then their friend network will end up being strong. They will have a strong family unit. These kinds of things will follow from that. They will end up being leaders of their community. Because why? Because they're the good ones. And even if not, being a good human being is better than not. So the very worst thing is you're a good person, right? The very worst thing. You can be a failure at everything else, but you're still a good human being. And that's better than not being one. And so, you build off of a foundation of goodness, and the rest of your life will be good. That was my theory. Now, how to accomplish that? That's a different question that I'm not going into tonight, because that's a 20-minute thing all of its own. Right? Because it doesn't end. Because you're right. There's different children are at different stages at different times, and you're in a family where you have 3 or 4 kids. You've got to balance the needs of everybody, and so no one ever gets exactly what they need, except somehow they do, because it's not the specifics, it's the attempt. Most often the attempt to be a good parent is really what the children need. It's okay to fail. Of course you're going to fail. You've never done it before. Of course you're failing. Duh. Parenting is really hard. You've never done it before. Yeah, you're going to fail a few times. It's okay, as long as you're trying to do good, to do the right thing, to raise your children with good morals. Well, more often than not, work out. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so what's next?
We have work questions.
Okay.
Male coworker booning everyone. How to respond?
He wants to get fired. That's the only.
Well, it's a butt crack situation.
Oh, not deliberately mooning everyone, just accidentally mooning everybody.
Well, she thinks it's on purpose.
No, we're idiots. You got to remember that men don't know shit. We don't know, or we don't pay attention. Plumber's butt crack kind of thing.
Yeah, all the time.
Have you met? Okay, we've got a word for it. So, yes. How do you respond? Don't look. That's how you respond. It's amazing how well that works. Just don't look at it. It's very easy to not look at someone's crack in their ass. You just don't look in that direction. You kind of have to deliberately look at it. I'm sorry, you do. No one's plumber's crack is ever in your face. Or if it is, you've got other problems than the butt crack, than the plumber's crack. I'm just saying, ignore it. If you're close, if you know somebody close to them, you can ask them to have a discussion with them to wear longer shirts or something. But buying one of those long back shirts that they get for men now, and to cover that would be my suggestion, because my guess is he's not doing it on purpose. He's just oblivious, because we are. So there.
Oh gosh.
Sorry. Okay, so what's next?
Has anyone ever asked for a demotion and a pay cut? How did it go for them?
Yes, the people who didn't like the job they were in, and so they wanted to go back to their old one. I don't want to supervise these morons. I just want to do my job. I don't like the stress, and the money isn't worth it. Yeah, it happens all the time, actually. People get promoted to something they're not ready for, they're not prepared for, or they don't like, and they ask to go back. So, yeah. And how does it go? Well, what it means is they don't want to be management, is usually what it means. And so in terms of at that company, the upward trajectory is cut off, but they clearly didn't care. That's not what they were looking for. They were looking for something else at the moment. And anyway, the best way to get a promotion is to change jobs. So, yeah, it worked out exactly how they wanted. If they do that, it worked out for exactly how they wanted. So, okay, what's next?
How do I get a consultation job while maintaining my full-time job?
You create a website, put up your consultation resume, you do some, your basic marketing on LinkedIn and whatnot, and offer services until someone hires you. You undercut your competition with prices, because that's where you can do right now, and and build yourself a clientele, just like any other consultant on the planet. That's how consultants get work. You offer your services.
Okay.
Or sometimes it's just accepting opportunities when they come along. There's another way to do it. But okay.
Okay. Is indoor vaping also cringe to you?
Well, cringe is a personal thing. You don't like it, so you find it cringy. People who vape don't, because they vape. And I personally don't care one way or the other. So, it's a personal thing. You don't. It's fine to not like it. There's no judgment there. It's fine to not be able to be around it, just like anything else. So, it's also fine to say it's my house. I want to vape in it. If you don't like it, doors.
No,
there.
this is at work.
Well, you probably shouldn't vape inside like common areas, your office or the bathroom or the things like that. But if you're vaping outside the door, it's fine. I mean, you need less, because the issue with vaping is you don't actually have the smoke issue you get with smoke. So now you're just offended by people vaping. But I think vaping probably has the same laws as smoking. So just don't. It's common courtesy, but it's not cringe. It's common courtesy not to vape indoors, but it's not cringe in the workplace. I forgot we were talking about work questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Is it cringe? No, but it's impolite. All right.
Okay. question for you. In your experience, how many days between orgasm results in the best orgasm? Dude, you're planning out your orgasms? Can't you just roll with the flow?
Yeah, days between have nothing to do with the best orgasm. If your best orgasms are because of days in between you doing it wrong. Just saying.
Oh,
We're in a sense we're not different than women. The more excited we are, the better orgasm it is. And if I'm more excited today than I was yesterday, guess what, sunshine?
it's a banner day.
Just saying. There's the time difference has earlier in the day, right? It doesn't matter. There's no relevance to that. So no, how about this? You're doing it wrong. So there. You're overthinking it. That's probably my guess. Okay.
Why do people watch porn that they would never participate in or find arousing in real life?
Because they would never participate, or it's not arousing in real life. It's called this thing called fantasy. And a lot of people engage in fantasy that they would never engage with in real life because it's fantasy. It takes them out of their real life. It's the whole point. So that's why. But, and in sex, you can kind of relate to it. So you can kind of, that's why. It's very simple explanation. And sometimes I think it's too simple, so people don't want to believe it. But that's why. The reason is because they wouldn't participate or find arousing in real life. The negatives outweigh the theoretical positives. They know that, so that's why it stays in fantasy land.
Everything's perfect in fantasy land.
Just saying, fantasy land is great. So leave it there. And that's why it exists. People like the Lords of the Rings and Star Trek and Star Wars and all these things for a reason, right? We get to live something we're not. And this is no different. So, yeah. Yeah. So don't overthink it. So there's that. Okay.
How do you deal with anxiety around sex? Okay. He met this woman.
Mm-hmm.
They're hitting it off.
Mm-hmm.
And they're heading towards, becoming intimate. And he wants to impress her the first time.
Okay, here's the first thing. Here's the thing. Hey, stop. You're putting way too much pressure on it for it to work out. The only way the first time is going to accomplish what you want is for it to be free and loose and just let it go. Because that's how the best sex happens. When things are free and loose, you just kind of let it go. You could just be plain old boring missionary sex, and it'll be the best in your life if you're just free and go and in the moment. So stop overthinking it. Just let it be. Just enjoy each other's company. And how are you going to deal with the anxiety around it? You're not, because it's just the anxiety is part of the journey. It just is. It's part of the anticipation. It's part of the buildup. It's part of what makes that first time special. Whether it's the first time with a partner you care about, especially. That's why waiting is, building up a relationship first is better than not. You should have some anxiety around it. You should want to impress her. The issue is you're not going to if you've overthought it. So you're just not, because you're going to be thinking about all those other things instead of just kind of, being there.
Connect with her.
Yeah.
On an emotional level. That's what impresses us the most.
Yeah,
that's what we're there for.
Just be in the moment. Don't overthink it. Don't try to pull out all your best moves until the third time. It's just be in the moment is my suggestion. You don't need the bells and whistles. Actually, that anxiety will feed that first time. It's part of the uniqueness of it. It's part of the specialness. And enjoy that one. Okay.
Last one. What is the best sentence to whisper to a partner, male to female ear when making out. Oh, I got that.
Well, it depends on your partner.
I want to do your dishes.
That one would work for women. It depends on the partner. There is no such thing, and it kind of depends on your goal at the moment, right? So there is no best sentence to whisper to your partner. It's know your partner, know what the point is. You know, I mean, there is no best sentence. If you're thinking of a best sentence, if you're going in with a game plan, you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying, you know, what will come, the best thing to say will come naturally if you're in the moment. So, because you have to know them, because some women like you to be a little rougher in her ear than others. Others want sweet and kindness and tenderness, and others want a slur of profanity that would make, you know, Popeye the Sailor, you know, grimace. How's this person talking? You know I'm just saying, make a sailor blush. So you've got to know your partner. That's the thing. And, you know, the same goes for the other way. Some men don't want you saying anything in their ear. Right. So it just is. So anyway.
Why are you talking? I prefer you know, natural noises. My brain switches off. I can't think of words. I'm busy.
No, I get what they're saying, but the question is, there is no best sentence.
No, there isn't.
There is no best sentence.
No.
It's to know your partner, and the best thing to say will come out.
Yeah.
If you're in or the best thing to say or not say will come out in a natural form. All right. We are out of here. Thank you for letting us into your Thanksgiving week. And hopefully I fixed the sound issue that we've got. I think we've got most of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, for me and Lovey, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
In December? No. Will it be December? No.
No, we still got it's not December yet, but next week.
Oh, we have questions next week.
A full week of questions. Cool. All right. So we will see you guys next week with a full list of questions to answer. Oh, yay. We're going to see what's coming up with that. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week. And have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being part of our audience. And we want to thank everybody who's always been part of this journey. And so please remember to love everybody, and good night.
Good night.